Who are you and what do you do?
Yeah, thank you. My name is Ingrid Pauw. I'm an industrial design engineer specialized in designing for the circular economy. And I'm one of the founders of Ideal & Co, an agency with the same goal. So what we aim to do is help companies put ideals into business. And originally that's from a sustainability perspective, so very broad. And since about 10 years, we really specialize towards circular economy.
Okay, so you've been doing this for a long time. I hear 10 years, but you've probably been doing this for a longer while.
Yeah.
Can you say something about how this has evolved over the years, or did your proposition stay quite much the same towards companies?
Yeah, basic composition stays the same. We've always felt like there's an opportunity in doing things differently and getting the business opportunity out of sustainability. And of course, this has transitioned towards opportunities specifically for the circular economy because it fits very well with product design and designers wanting to improve the world, have innovations, and how do you say it, contribute value. And in my opinion, products going to waste is just poor design. So it's about designing smartly. And yeah, as you also know, it's more than just a product, right? It's also designing the system around it, getting it back, making it repairable, stuff like that. That focus towards circularity is new because yeah, also we learn from every project, our understanding grows. So that changed, but the basic principle helping companies to really make a good living out of good quality solutions is what we hope to achieve.
That sounds like a mission. Is that your mission?
Yes, I think so. Yeah, I think there's always opportunities. Maybe it's not like in traditional, stereotypical linear economy where you try to maximize profit. That's not what we are. We are profitable, but we're not in it for the profit.
Okay.
So we're in it to make good business with products that you can be proud of, or helping a company transition towards a circular economy in a way that you think, okay, this is creating a world that I want to live in.
Yeah. It sounds great, maximizing the value of your resources. That's sounds like a great ideal to have. You compare in a way linear and circular, or you say we do things differently. Can you point out what the differences are? What do you see as, is it in the design? Is it more in the system, stakeholders, or?
Yeah, it's somewhat tricky to answer because I don't personally have experience in linear entrepreneurship. I started the business because I wanted to work on this. And yeah, first I would say there's not so much difference. I mean, we help companies, so we're their clients. But then, of course, we do things differently. So I think one of the things, what I said is it's not for profit. We're really towards, long-term sustainability and profitability and not trying to get as much as possible. So of course you do need to pay us if we consult for you, but we think it's a fair wage and we bring the quality that is needed. And it's always because it's not business as usual. So you need to find these opportunities. And it's typically in cooperating with more stakeholders, developing the system around it, trying to see where that's super nice ideas. So it's about product design, but also about designing the system around it. And maybe, I'm not really sure, but I think what might be different is that we also cooperate with our clients. So we are consultants, they hire us, but we always work together with the company. Or we also do research projects where we work with entire teams. So multidisciplinarity is also key. And if we feel that we need an extra expertise, we just put them on the team. So I guess that's what you could coin as circular entrepreneurship. At least it's different from traditional, I guess.
And do your customers already come to you with a clear idea of what circularity is and how to apply it? Or do you need to give them a lot of background information or tell them more about dynamics?
It depends because we work both for bigger clients that really want to progress on the transition towards a circular economy, so they already know the basics. We also have like innovative startups that have developed something that they think will, can improve circularity, and then we help them more with the product design. But we also do a lot of circular scans with companies that are not yet involved. So there we really explain what the concept is, and we do a quick scan to assess like how circular is my product and where are the opportunities to improve it. So it depends a lot per project.
And what elements do you find have a big influence on how circular a product is or a business? In those circular scans, what kind of conclusions can you draw?
So first of all, it's very different per product. I always say because, typically working with recycled material is an easy way of starting, and then companies typically think, okay, then we're circular, but there's also the back end, so what do you do once products are discarded? Do you have a take back system? And how do you do it? How do you do it in a way that it's like chicken and egg, the current designs are optimized for linear economy. So in many cases, it's not yet worthwhile to take them back because it costs too much time to take them apart or repair them. But then if you change the design to really be ready for that circular economy, then the business case changes.
Is there a way, because as much as we talk about entrepreneurship, we also talk about intrapreneurship, and the clients you work with, it might have much more of this entrepreneurial nature, adopting new products, adopting new business models that are more circular. Does it sometimes also help to get a take back system in place and then change the design so that you can start doing more with it? Or what is the perfect starting point maybe of
My experience is that it really differs again per product, because you need to find that opportunity that also provides added value to the customer or the users of that product. And we have a product design engineering background, so improving the design, making it ready for the circular economy is always, I think, a good starting point, because typically if a product is easy to disassemble, it's also easy to assemble. Not always, but you can make it work like that. So then the extra production costs do not have to be that high. Setting up a return system is usually something that's very scary for our clients, especially if they're not, if they're new to the circular economy. It requires quite some investments. Sometimes it's better to work with established partners to do that part. So yeah, it really depends. And there's also, many people will say, well, it's not possible, it's not feasible. And then suddenly someone starts doing it in a very smart way. So it's always easy to say things cannot be done and it's difficult and will cost extra money. But the nice thing about the circular economy is that you retain that value, you capture that value, and there is a business proposition in it. So finding that spot, that's the nice challenge that we work on.
and this spot, it has a lot to do with meeting the needs of customers in a new way, maybe a different way. So do you also focus a lot on finding out what the needs are of the users?
Yeah, and again, here we work together with the companies. So usually they have in place how to do customer evaluations and inquiries. So we suggest something, they will start investigating it and using that knowledge. For instance, we've had a client that was investigating a leasing model, and then the results were so overwhelming, so people were really keen on that because it's a product you don't use for a long period, and they actually were afraid, like, okay, if there's so much demand for it, it will completely change our business. So we need to slow down and first investigate what the consequences will be. But typically, I mean, companies have so much knowledge already in place, so we're really there for the circular design expertise, the circular economy aspect of it.
And you mentioned before that in each project you learn something new. Were there particular experiences that were significantly more fruitful than others that you remember?
Well, I think that's a long way back, but the first thing was I never anticipated to become an entrepreneur, but I was very idealistic, so hence also the company name. And I had this wonderful client that says, I have this assignment, but I cannot employ you, but I can hire you, which I never thought of because I just wanted, to get a job. But then the project was that nice that it was like, okay, then I'll become an entrepreneur. So that has been, life-changing because I came to like it and came to develop it further, started working together with others because I think teamwork is really important. So there was just this one first client that made me have that decision. So that was really, had a lot of impact on my career, so to speak. But it can also be small things like finding out in a company that the profit margin on repair parts is way higher than on the original product, but the design team not knowing because it's a different department. And then, so that could be this one spark that you're like, oh, actually, so that business is way more profitable. So what if you don't buy the product new again, but you keep maintaining it? And of course you have your client base. You've had it, right, that you have a product and something is broken. You don't want a new one, you just want to replace it and fix it quickly in an easy way. And then you're done. So you stick with the original manufacturer. So yeah, it's also small things like that.
The path of entrepreneurship was life-changing for you. What are the things of entrepreneurship that are really valuable to you?
Well, in my case, it gave a lot of freedom, so I can really, together with my colleagues, do the things that we want to do. The really nice thing of having your own business is that you can decide what you want to work on, what kind of projects you want to do. So sometimes clients come to us and they have a very clear design brief, but we also see opportunities and we proactively contact companies and we say, hey, we think there's an opportunity here and things could be better or more sustainable or more circular. Are you interested? And that's of course very different from being an employer and employee and doing what is needed. You can choose your own clients. We're very particular about that. So yeah, that's really different.
How do you develop as an entrepreneur? How do you learn what you need to learn? And is it something are you still learning and developing, or is that?
Oh yes. And that's maybe because I'm not the typical entrepreneur. I was also not trained as an entrepreneur. I just got going and learn on the fly. And maybe way more entrepreneurs do it like that. So it has been more trial and error than really being educated, because I'm trained as an industrial design engineer and not in entrepreneurship. So also because I didn't anticipate to go that route. And of course, over time you learn and you also do things differently than what you would have learned. So I also appreciate that.
So it's a lot of learning by doing, or are there also courses or events or places or people you turn to if there's stuff you need to develop?
I have colleagues in a network where we discuss things informally, but I've never had many issues with the entrepreneurship part. It's more about if you have a drive and you really want to, put your talent at work. It's about finding the right people. So it's more like finding the clients that are in need of your expertise and the other way around. And not so much like, how do I build a business? How do I grow? So growth is not something we strive for as a goal. We just want to do cool projects. And if we have many and we need more people and we find like-minded people on the team, then we grow. And if they go off, we've had spin-off projects where people didn't do something for a client but said, okay, I want to pursue this myself. So it became a spin-off company and then they fly. So that's also possible. It's to follow your ideals, either within the team or outside. So it's more dynamic.
Do you have any other tips or advice for starting entrepreneurs who would like to explore possibilities in circularity?
Well, if you want to explore, I can advise it, follow your ideals, do it, just give it a try. It can be very addictive. So you may end up, having a company for 30 years and still enjoying it to the max. And also, of course, you keep learning. So for many years, I've just been learning from project to project. So we keep doing different kind of products also because we want to advance every time. We're not like repeating projects to make money. Every project has to bring us further, also ourselves, not only our clients. So, but I did go back to university. I did a PhD at Delft University of Technology, which was super useful. So especially in understanding the difference between eco-efficiency thinking, what I've been brought up with as a student, and understanding the difference with circular or nature-inspired design strategies. And that was super fruitful, so I can recommend it if you really love a topic to do a PhD. And then of course there's the MOOCs that Delft is developing. I also very much like the one called Circular Economy Introduction. So if you're new to the topic, I can certainly recommend it.
Do you maybe have any final thoughts to share? Or I think we already heard your motto, follow your ideals.
Yeah, follow your ideas. Practice what you preach. That's
Okay.
also it's a common one, right?
Yeah.
But I would certainly go for it. And again, as said, many people will tell you it won't work, it cannot be done, and then suddenly someone does it in a very profitable and inspiring way. So
that's great to hear.
Yeah.
That's probably a really nice end note as well, as an inspiration to go find your own goals and ambitions in entrepreneurship. Thank you very much. A very inspiring journey, and great to hear about all the possibilities of circular entrepreneurship.
You're welcome.